Alright, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. Uh, Besides the little segment, I'm just going to call Beyond Pixels. They say the more that we're using computers, the dumber we're getting. So just wanted to show some things where some people seem to not quite be as smart as pixels. So right here we have this one individual who posted a television for sale. You can see in his ad, he says that the screen is cracked, but it still turns on. It works great. You just can't see anything. And later on in his ad, he says that it's great for playing games or Netflix. Not quite sure how you're going to play a game on a screen that doesn't show anything, or how you're going to watch something on Netflix, but good luck to him on that. So we have this person here. They're selling some Xbox One games. They have Just Cause 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, Doom, Black Ops, and the first person asks, what games do you have? Alrighty. And this person, he is looking for a cocktails. I am looking for a cocktail with or without cage. Much be reasonable price. Okay, so I don't know if this person is one of those Nigerian scammers that is trying to use Facebook instead of email, or if they forgot to bring their dictionary to their computer. Okay. Alright. Don't know if they want a cocktail or a cocktail, but whichever it is they're looking for, make sure you present them the option of a cage. And then we have this person here. Trump haters and Islamic terrorists are on the same team. And this is what we call extremism, when we apply two different groups that have nothing to do with one another and pen them together just because we dislike both groups. You know, I'm not a Trump hater, I'm just not a Trump supporter. You know, I just feel like he as an individual isn't a good role model for our children. I wouldn't want my kids going around calling a woman a pig because they don't like her. Granted, the woman he did call that, not a great human being in my opinion. Not any better than he is. I wouldn't want my children hanging around someone like her. But, you know, you don't call people names just because you don't like them. And, you know, Trump has a long history of using very violent, vulgar language towards individuals he doesn't like. He's been caught in a lot of lies about people. Granted, since he's been president, I haven't really noticed a lot of that going on. Whoever his advisors are, whoever's editing his speeches are doing a very good job of it. And a lot of his policies have been pretty good. The two things that really get me as far as not supporting him as I would not vote for him as president, I should say, is as a conservative Christian, I have to first and foremost put my Savior's beliefs first and foremost. I believe in the Bible and I believe everything in it. And what it says on homosexuality and abortion are very important to me. And he supports the LGBT movement. He believes that they should have equal rights and all freedoms and everything that, you know, same that a traditional marriage couple has. I disagree with that, but he believes that the only thing that I am happy about is that he doesn't believe on doing it on the federal level. He thinks it's to save the states. So at least I know for now, until he changes his mind on that, that there's not going to be a big push on it in the federal level that's going to get by him, hopefully. But he has marched with them, he meets with them, he's personal friends with the movement's leaders, and he has made it very clear he is 100% support for them. He's not as definitively pro-life as I would like. He hasn't made any steps whatsoever to try to bring an end to abortion. And I think, above and beyond all other aspects, all other policies, abortion has to be our number one focus. We have to be a pro-life nation. If we want to be blessed by God, we cannot murder millions of babies and expect God to bless us because we're doing something else right. Murder is, it's one of those, these 6 things that the Lord hates, the 7 are an abomination unto him. and one of them is hands that shed innocent blood. And as long as we continue to shed innocent blood as we are, God's not going to bless this country in any way, shape, or form. And in anything that we perceive as blessings, it's not blessings from God. It's just, sometimes good things happen in life. And if we were being blessed by God, this country would be doing a lot better than it is. I think abortion needs to be our number one thing. We have to bring an end to that. And I don't see Trump as being somebody who's very concerned with it. So for those two reasons alone, really, are the reasons that I chose not to vote for him. If I'm going to put my vote towards someone, it's going to be somebody who's 100% pro-life. It's going to, or is at least promising that they're going to completely illegalize abortion, and someone who's not going to support the LGBT movement. But the fact that I'm pro-life doesn't make me an Islamic terrorist. The fact that I don't believe in same-sex marriage does not make me an Islamic terrorist. I am not an Islamic terrorist. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I do not follow Allah. I do not believe in killing people for following a different religion. I don't believe in tearing down statues just because I don't like their historical significance. These are the things that Islamic terrorists do. They behead people, they kidnap people, they burn down entire cities. I don't believe in doing any of that stuff. So the claim that somebody who doesn't support Trump would be an Islamic terrorist, it's a very extreme thing. I mean, to say it's you have to be dumber than a crystal to believe that. You really do. It's just I don't understand how people are like that. The same individual and I, we went through probably about 2 days of debate back and forth about whether or not I could call myself a conservative, just because I actually said that they were lying about an individual, his comments. Lemonis, a CEO, he claimed that anybody who had believed a statement by Trump was not welcome in his store. And that statement was that both sides of the Charlottesville violence were to blame. Both the group, the white supremacists, and the Antifa members who came to start the violence. And I agree with Trump. The white supremacists are to blame for having a philosophy of hate and trying to spread it. They were there legally. They had permission to be there, unfortunately. It was stupid whoever gave them that permission, but they had it. But, you can't be a hateful group and try to incite hate and then be surprised when there's violence. And then the Antifa group, that they're also a group of hate. And they showed up wearing body armor and carrying weapons and face masks and riot shields. And they came to cause violence. They came like an army. And you can't come like that and start violence and be blameless. If they hadn't shown up, there would have been no violence. And if the white supremacists didn't have their philosophy and try to spread their hate, they wouldn't have been a magnet for potential violence either. So both groups are definitely to blame. Trump was right there. But this Angela Grover lady that posted this pic that's up here, she lied about Lemonis. She claimed that Lemonis said that he didn't want any Trump supporter in his store, which is completely untrue. What he said was those who agree with this particular statement that both sides are at fault, he doesn't want in his store. So in other words, if you support Trump, but you disagree with what he said, you're still welcome at the store. He just doesn't want people who are going to blame Antifa in the store because he hates white supremacists so much. And this is where, hatred also has a problem, because, when you hate one group or one individual too much, it can cause you to be blind to the flaws of another group or another individual. So what we have here is, he hates white supremacists so much that he couldn't even see that Antifa was a hate group. Antifa is no different than the KKK, except the KKK doesn't really get away with violence anymore. The FBI is on top of them, the CIA is on top of them, law enforcement's ready to crack down on them if they even step out of line. Meanwhile, Antifa is showing up at places, bringing weapons, wearing body armor, riot shields, and starting violence, and nothing's happening to them. Nobody could care less. People are defending them because they hate white supremacists. So, we're seeing the hate in one individual and ignoring the hate in another because we hate the one group more. And it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to take a step back and say, hey, not apply our hate to a situation or a dislike or a disagreement, but put all that to the side and evaluate. Justice is supposed to be blind. Justice is supposed to look at just the facts to determine where the innocence and the guilt lies. And people aren't doing that. People are determining what group is guilty, what group is innocent based off of emotion. And if you do that, you can't have justice. Because if you have justice, you have to say the people who start violence are guilty, and the people who encourage it are guilty. And when you do that, both sides are guilty. It's like they say, two wrongs don't make a right. If my son Josiah takes something from my son Joel, and my son Joel pushes him and takes it back, I don't say, well, Josiah had it coming to him because he took it, so Joel, you're okay. No. You don't push your brother and take it back. Your brother is half your age. He doesn't understand what he's doing. I tried to explain it to him, but I don't do a thing of, well, he was wrong to you, so you're good to go. You're justified in whatever you do back. No, you have recourse. You can come to your dad and say, hey, he took it from me. And then your dad can fix the situation. You don't like that white supremacists are holding a rally. You don't like that they were given permission. I agree with you. But the recourse is to go and take it to legal situation. After they have had theirs, have a legal protest of your own. Protest around the state capitol, the city's mayor's office. Protest that they would even allow a hate group to do that. Contact your legislatures. Get it passed that hate groups like the KKK are not allowed to protest. I would disagree with that only for the fact that we do have freedom of speech in this country. I think they should have freedom to protest, to do their marches, in so much as they can request it, but I think anyone who actually grants that permission to such a group is an idiot. I mean, I will tell you right now, as the mayor, governor, or anything like that, if I were such, I would never approve that group to have a rally or a march or anything. And it's foolishness. Why would you want to support that? But yeah, so this individual was telling me that I was a liberal because I was correcting a lie made about Lemonists. I was trying to correct it and say, look, he's not saying Trump supporters can't come. He's saying that those who place blame on both sides can't come or aren't welcome. And so this individual was like, well, it's splitting hairs. And my thing is, the conservative party is founded on the concept of truth. We're founded on telling the truth about what's going on and supporting actual facts behind our policies. We're not about lying and deceiving. We're not the group that says you have to pass this bill before you can read it. We're the group that is fair and honest. And when you call the truth splitting hairs, well, you're just being like the enemy. You're being like the people who try to pass their policies with deceit and hidden measures and secrecy and behind closed doors. And that's not what we as conservatives are supposed to be like. So yeah, it was quite ridiculous. But you can see, with this, how people can really translate their hate for one group and apply it to a whole different group like that, and it's ridiculous. And some people, this is what also happens when you worship someone, because that's what this is. This is Trump worship. There's nothing wrong with supporting an individual. I am a huge supporter of Ted Cruz. But I would never look at somebody who opposes Ted Cruz and say that they are not a conservative. There's conservatives out there who don't like Ted Cruz for whatever reason. They may think that Rubio is a better choice or that another individual is a better choice. And that's their right. But for me to claim that they are not a conservative because they don't choose the politician I like is I would have to be worshiping Ted Cruz to go that far. Because then what I'm saying is that he's a god and anyone that doesn't support him, well, they're not good people, they're terrorists, they're evil, they're enemies of the state. And when you get that way, that's where you end up with people like Hitler in power. Hitler had some really horrible beliefs, but he got people to like him. And because they fell in love with his good ideals that he wanted, Germany was being hurt because they accepted a treaty at the end of World War One, and the Allied powers weren't honoring that treaty, and Germans were starving, and Germany had bad economy, and he came across and he had all the answers to it all. And people fell in love with the idea of being able to eat again, being able to work again, having a good economy, being able to be like the rest of the industrialized world and not being impoverished anymore. They didn't want to be oppressed anymore. And this guy came along who was charismatic and had great ideas, and they fell in love with him. And they liked him so much that they ignored all his evil, his desire to kill people just based off their race, his desire to conquer the world, to start a whole Third Reich, to oppress. And that's what happens. When you like someone too much, you begin to worship them, and their flaws are not apparent to you anymore. And anyone that doesn't worship your so-called God in a way is someone that has to be of the devil. They become symbolic or equal to the devil or to ultimate evil. And that's what we see here in this picture. We have someone who is definitely a Trump worshiper. Nothing wrong with liking Trump. I have my two reasons for not wanting to vote for him, but I like a lot of the policies he's doing. There's nothing wrong with him. But, when you worship an individual, you begin to equate them to Islamic terrorists when they are neither Islamic nor terrorists. And there's a lot of people who are liberals who don't hate this country, that are not setting off bombs, they're not flying planes into buildings, they're not supporting the people that do stuff like that. Many liberals are, for the war on terror. And there's a lot of people who don't like Trump, that may hate Trump, for whatever reason, that love this country but hate Islamic terror. And when you have too much hate or too much love for an individual or organization, you can be blind to that. Anyway, this was just a little Beyond Pixels thing, a couple funny things I came across, and then a quick little, or it gets a little more lengthy of a rant. As you can see, you can't see me in this video. The reason for that is that the program I have that allows me to do more of a split screen so that you can see me on the webcam while also seeing what's on the screen. It won't record my voice well. You can't hear me at all. Like every 10 words is about all you can hear. Meanwhile, this program is picking up my voice really well, it seems like. But it doesn't have the option for a split screen with webcam. I can either do just the webcam or I can show it on the desktop. And since I had some pictures here, so I decided to go with what's on the desktop. I will be doing another video in a little bit, doing pretty much the same thing. It won't have funny things or this on here. It's actually going to be discussing this individual whose post I came across concerning racism with the national anthem. And I found it quite interesting and looked into it a little bit. And so I thought I'd do a little video on what I think of what their post says. So I hope you all look forward to that. I will potentially be discussing the gender of my wife's third child. We had a gender reveal during our son Josiah's first birthday. his birthday was actually yesterday, but we did the party on Saturday because that's when her family could make it. So potentially be doing a little bit of gender reveal type episode without the of the gender reveal, just kind of letting you guys know the gender is and the name of the child. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. It's very important to this channel to get subscribers. It helps. First of all, it lets you know when a new video comes out via YouTube. But it also tells other people who randomly come across my videos that my videos are good enough to are worth checking out because other people have subscribed to them. It also helps the channel look a little more popular on YouTube so that it appears more on the suggested list to other individuals, and it has other impacts as well. Definitely share the video as well if you like it for other people to watch. The more views it gets, the closer I can get to unlocking certain features that will help me to better edit my videos, better record my videos, and even better market my videos and such. And definitely like it. My videos aren't getting a lot of comments because people are mainly commenting on my Facebook page or on other areas or emailing me. But it would be great to see some comments on the videos. This shows interaction with my with the videos that I'm putting out, and that can also help drawing people to watch videos. Because a lot of people like myself, I'll open a video and then I'll look at the comments. I immediately pause the video and I start reading the comments, and that tells me whether I want to bother watching a video or not sometimes. Because I could tell sometimes by what people say in the comments whether it's going to be a waste of time or not. Because there's a lot of videos out there that are mainly clickbait. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just tap the like button, share button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thank you very much.